Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Mat Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
Liberty Counsel has launched the Pastors and Patriots Initiative to educate and mobilize pastors, and now we also have the Salt and Light Biblical Citizenship Ministry so that ministry can be in each and every church. Hi, I'm Mat Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, our Pastors and Patriots Initiative is really designed to educate and mobilize pastors, but unlike other organizations or outreaches, now we have a real regular turnkey program that can follow up the mobilization of pastors, which is our Salt and Light ministry. That'll actually keep the momentum going, and that actually is a nice marriage between our mobilization of pastors and continual activity within the church involving the pastor and the church people.
Yeah, very exciting stuff, and the interest that we're getting from pastors from churches around the country is exponentially going up and up and up. And that's because, we have an admonition from Christ to be the salt of the earth, the light of the world. And, in a culture that loves darkness, we need salt and light. We need people to be out there. But the thing about salt is that, in an open wound, salt can burn. And our culture today, Matt, is an open wound. So when people are speaking truth firmly, boldly, they're going to burn some people. So being salt and light in a world that loves darkness can come with some repercussions. So, Christ says you're going to be hated because they first hated me for taking a stand for truth. But there is strength in numbers, and the more people of faith that come together and agree to speak truth fearlessly and to be salt and light in a culture that loves darkness, prefers darkness, the stronger a unified front that we have to actually help push truth into public policy and our culture at large.
And while salt may burn a wound, it also stops the bleeding.
Yeah.
And it's a preservative as well. And that's how you cure meat, for example. So you preserve some of those values. And so no wonder why Jesus used these common things that we experience every day to be the salt of the earth and to be the light of the world, to bring light where there's darkness and to chase the darkness away. Obviously, you're going into a cave. You want a torch. You want a lantern to be able to help guide your path. Liberty Counsel is pleased that the Salt and Light Council that began in 2008 in California is now part of Liberty Counsel's ministry. It is a 501c3 organization. The president is Dran Reese, and Liberty Counsel now is affiliated with, or Salt and Light Council is affiliated with Liberty Counsel. So one of the things that has been missing in some of the, and even in our outreach to pastors, is the follow-up. We've been able to speak to pastors and people in the church to get them motivated to talk about the importance of early history, such as the Great Awakening gave birth to the American Revolution. The Second Great Awakening gave birth to William Wilberforce and the abolition of slavery. So it was those spiritual foundations that ultimately gave birth to our civil body politic and the liberties that we enjoy here in the United States. But that's one thing to get the pastors educated and motivated, want to address biblical values. The next question is, how do they do it? And how do they do it on a continual basis? Well, that's where Salt and Light Ministry comes in. So if you want to have a Salt and Light Ministry in your church, call Liberty Counsel at 800-671-1776. It's a turnkey ministry, and we will provide training, and we'll provide continual ongoing information on a monthly basis where you can educate the pastor and the church members about how to be salt and light, how to be active biblical citizens in your community.
Well, Matt, almost without exception, Christianity and Christians have led every positive cultural advancement that we've seen, every civil rights advancement, the abolition of slavery ultimately. The abolitionists were vastly Christians. William Wilberforce, a devout Christian man. We see with our own civil rights movement here in the United States with the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and Christians coming together to demand equality for all people, regardless of their race and so forth. It's Christianity. It's the salt and light of the earth, as Christ says, that are responsible for these things. And this isn't just a suggestion, a mild suggestion. Christ, this is a command to be salt and light in a world. And what does Jesus say about salt when it loses its saltiness? Mm-hmm. If you're not being salt and light in the world, the salt that loses its saltiness should just be thrown out and trampled underfoot, as Christ says. So, but Matt, what does being salt and light and the Salt and Light Council, what kind of policies, what kinds of things are we talking about?
Well, Salt and Light Council has the Salt and Light ministries that are in the local churches, and we want to continue to expand those into more churches. But here's one of the things that will happen. First of all, if you want to be a Salt and Light representative, we provide training, and it's basically a 3/4 of a day training where you get all the information in terms of how to run a Salt and Light ministry in your church, how to talk to people, how to communicate with the pastor, all of the information that is necessary to start a Salt and Light ministry. Then we'll provide you also with the material that you can bring, and we bring in a lot of material from a lot of different organizations and resources so you can have the best of the best. And part of that includes training in biblical worldview, such as books, for example, on biblical worldview and history that will be provided to you for training for not only yourself, but for the people in your church. And also, every month you'll get several emails or several attachments to an email that will include issues that you can pass out, such as it'll have state issues for all the states that we're in. We look at all the different issues of the state that deal with religious liberty, sanctity of human life, the family, and Israel. So those 4 main areas. And we will put that in this tailored for each state. And then also nationally, we put in something regarding nationally, what's going on, how you can be involved. And then also you can add something that's going on locally within your school board or your city council. So this one document will have local, state, national, and even international issues, all of which you can be educated and educate with or about, and then vehicles of how your people in your church can respond and actually make a difference. There's also regular meetings of the Salt and Light Council leaders nationally. They're called PACE meetings, where the different groups call in, share what is going on in their community. You can have this national input where you're listening to and sharing with other people that are doing the same thing just like you and learn from them. So there's a lot of support. It's not just, here's the Salt and Light information, you go out and do it. There's a lot of ongoing training and support.
Well, this is really exciting. I mean, we spend a lot of our time educating the public on the issues that we're confronted with today and the challenges that we're confronted with as a culture, in our government and so forth. But it doesn't do any good to just sit around and bemoan a culture in decline. If you're in a plane and the plane is in a nosedive and you're the captain, if you just stand around and complain that we're going to crash and burn, no, what do? You grab the wheel and you pull back on it and you pull up out of that nosedive. So here's an actual here are a number of things that people can actually do. They can put their feet on the ground, put their hands to work, and actually do something to pull us out of this cultural nosedive and get us back on track as a nation. This is exciting.
I think it all really comes down to pastors and churches and people of faith waking up and taking the role that they should have, and that is be active biblical citizenship. And so the Pastors and Patriots educates and mobilizes pastors and people in the pew, but also the Salt and Light is an ongoing presence in the local church. You know, it's kind of like, I basically analogize this to going on vacation. You're spending all this time on the beach building a sand castle. It's very nice looking. You leave your vacation, you come back the next year, you're hoping to find your nice sand castle you spent so much time building. You come back and guess what? It's gone. The waves of time have washed it away, so you have to start again. That's essentially what has been the case with most pastor mobilization ministries. The pastors get mobilized. They're typically cyclical around election times. But then when the election is gone, first of all, they don't know what to do, although they may be mobilized to do something. And secondly, when the election's gone, they don't have any follow-up. The Salt and Light Council actually provides the follow-up on a regular basis. It's not geared towards elections. It does, however, provide information about elections and also provides information on how to register to vote. So it's a comprehensive, ongoing, turnkey ministry. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, or call us at 1-800-671-1776. You can also learn more from saltandlightcouncil.org. That's saltandlightcouncil.org. If you want to be a Salt and Light representative in your church, call us today at 800-671-1776. And also remember to support Liberty Counsel in your prayers and your regular financial support. For more information, go to lc.org.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.